So, my bad. This is 317A. 317A, up at the top. We're going to split this lesson up into today and tomorrow just because I don't want to overwhelm you. And we have time. We have all the way until next Thursday, which is when we're going to take our test, right? So, just to recap, again, so far, we've just been writing equations. First, we had an M and B, just had to plug them in. Then we had a graph. We had to figure out what the M and B are and plug them in. Same with a table. Figure out M and B, plug them in. Situation, same thing. Figure out what's M, what's B, plug it in. But now, what if I don't know what B is? Let's say we have a coordinate pair. A coordinate pair just represents a point on a graph. Right? A coordinate pair is a point on a graph that has two numbers in it. It has an x coordinate it has an x coordinate and it has a y coordinate. Now, if I ever forget what number is x and what number is y, all you have to do is sing the alphabet, because the x is going to go first, and then the y is going to come right after that. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So if I have a point, my x goes right before my y. I want to clarify that difference, right? Because we're used to putting y over x. But now, if I'm just looking at a point, I should know that my x goes before my y. This is something from Math 7 that we hopefully remember. Does this look familiar, this point right here? Yeah? Okay. Good. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be given a slope. They're going to say m is equal to something. And then I'm also going to get a point on the line. Just a random point on the line. Not necessarily my y-intercept. All I need to do is plug those three numbers in and solve for B. Real easy process. It's a little bit of math, but we all know how to multiply, we all know how to subtract, so we should be good, okay? Here's my slope-intercept formula. As we know, yo mama's ex-boyfriend, where y is my y value of the point, x is my x value of the point. We already know that m is my slope, and b is my y-intercept. Perfect. I know. It's all right. So, the questions that we're going to see are going to say find the y-intercept of the line with a slope of 2 that goes through the point 3, 5. So in that question, there's one really important piece of information we're missing, and that's my b value, my y-intercept. How many numbers are we given in this problem? I got 3 numbers, right? And I've got 4 spaces to plug numbers in. The only number we don't have is that b. So the first thing we're going to do is identify m. We're going to identify x. We're going to identify y. Based on the problem, what is my m going to be equal to here? It says we got a slope of what? 2. And then I'm given this point. Now this point, once again, has an x value and a y value. Between 3 and 5, what's my x value going to be? Show me on your hands real quick. Is it going to be 3 or is it going to be 5? My x value. Good. Yep, it's definitely going to be 3. So x is equal to 3, which means y must equal what? 5. All right. Now what we have here is a 3-piece puzzle. Okay, I know you guys said earlier in the year that you don't do puzzles. That's weird, and I'm weird for liking puzzles, that's fine. But a 3-piece puzzle, all of us can do. It's very, very simple. I got 3 pieces here. I just got to arrange them in the right way. So my equation starts y equals. What's going to be the first number that I plug in? Well, what does my y equal? So we identified m, x, and y. Now I got to plug them in for y, m, and x. What am I going to replace the letter y with here? 5 equals. What am I going to replace the letter m with? 2. Now when I have mx right next to each other like that, are we adding them, subtracting them, multiplying them, or dividing them? We're multiplying. So I'm going to do 2 times, what am I going to plug in for x? 3. What am I going to plug in for b? Do I know what b is? No. That's what I'm going to solve for. That's what I'm trying to find. Everyone cool with how we set this up?
Yeah.
Again, it's just a 3-piece puzzle. I got to figure out which piece goes where. That's why I color coded it nicely for us like that. Now I'm going to solve for b. So we haven't gotten into solving equations. We will a little bit later. Hopefully your teachers taught you this last year. The very first thing you're going to do is put a nice big line through your equal sign. Give me a thumbs up if you did that last year. Yeah, Avery did, Taya did, Vanessa did, Alasia, Z. Good. The reason why we do that is just so I know kind of what my left and right side are. It's the same reason why there's a net in volleyball. So I know which team is on the left side, which team is on the right side. It's my dividing line, right? So I got my left side over here, my right side over here. What's the very first thing it looks like I want to do? I'm going to multiply. What is 2 times 3? 6. So now I've got 5 equals 6 plus b. Now let's see how much of this you retained from last year. Hopefully a little bit. If I want to get b all by itself, I have to get rid of that 6. What can I do on both sides that's going to eliminate that 6, Lola? What's that? Simplify? It starts with an S, Vanessa. We're going to subtract, right? I'm going to subtract 6 from the right, and I'm going to subtract 6 from the left, because what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. That's right. You guys remember that? That's good. Because what is 6 minus 6? 0. 6 minus 6 gives me 0. What does 5 minus 6 give me? Negative 1. Right.
Is it a cockroach?
Spider. Halloween.
Oh. Now it's an apple. Okay.
That was so simple. Why?
That's like the smallest. Bro, ladybugs are bigger than that, Rose. It's all right. I know you're saying close the door. They'll get in. Okay? It's a cockroach. They'll get in. All right? Plus, that's like the 3rd baby this week. I think there's a family living in my room.
Oh.
They better be paying me rent. What is 6 minus 6 again?
0.
0. So I can just cross those guys out. All right? What is 5 minus 6? Negative 1. Negative 1. What's the only thing I have left on the right-hand side when those 6's get crossed out? B. So I end up with the equation B equals negative 1. Give me a thumbs up if you see how we got that, despite our little intermission. Good. So B is equal to negative 1. I'm going to put a little cloud around that. As far as today goes, that's all we're going to do. We're done. Okay? But what I would do next, because our whole theme is writing equations, I'd plug in the M and plug in the B. So So I'd rewrite this now just like we've been doing. Y is equal to, what's my M? 2. What do I slap on the end of that 2? X. Plus, what's my B now? Negative 1. So what happens to that plus? It turns to a minus because it's negative 1. I totally didn't do that on X. Minus 1. There's my equation. Y is equal to 2x minus 1. First run through, quick show thumbs. How we feeling? Thumbs up, seems pretty easy. Thumb sideways, maybe I need some practice. Okay, good. Like I said, it's one step of multiplication, one step of subtraction, two-step equation. As long as we plug everything in right, the math is the easy part. Let's take a look at example A on the second page. We're going to find B for the line with a slope of negative 2 that goes through the point 4, negative 3. First thing I want to do is identify what my 3 puzzle pieces are. I have an M, an X, and a Y. What's my M going to be equal to here? Negative 2. My slope is M, so M is negative 2. What's my X going to be equal to? 4. And what's my Y? Negative 3. Nice and easy. Now I know what my 3 puzzle pieces are. I'm going to take Y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to substitute 3 of those letters out. What am I going to put in place of Y? Negative 3. Thank you, Amari. Am I going too fast? Okay. Silence means yes. What am I going to plug in for M?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. I'll put some parentheses on the back because I'm multiplying. And what am I going to plug in for X? 4. What am I going to plug in for B? I'm going to leave it. That's what I'm trying to find. Okay? Bless you. What's the first thing I want to do here now? I want to get the B all by itself. Before I subtract, I got to clean a little bit of something up over here. What am I going to do with these two guys? I'm going to multiply them first. What is negative 2 times positive 4? Well, what's 2 times 4?
8.
8. What's a negative times a positive? Negative. So negative 8. Bring down everything else, just like that. Now, let's see once again how much you remember. Now, like Vanessa said, I want to get B all by itself, which means I got to get rid of this negative 8. What can I do on both sides to get rid of a negative 8? Subtract? Billy?
Add by 8.
We're going to add 8 because the opposite of minus 8 is plus 8. I want to be able to cross those out. Minus 8 and minus 8 don't cross out. They make negative 16. But minus 8 and plus 8, those can get crossed out. As long as I do it to the other side as well. Right? On my previous example, the 6 I had here was positive. So if I wanted to cross it out, I had to do the opposite of that, which is subtract, negative. Here it's just the opposite. It's negative, so I got to do positive. Now what is negative 3 plus 8? Positive 5. 5 equals B. There's my answer. Real quick, what's half of 6? Half of 6 is what? 3. Go ahead and try example B and C all on your own. Take a couple minutes, and we'll see what we can come up with before going over it all together. All right? Don't be scared of that fraction. You just answered it. Give it a shot. See what you can do. Great job. Great job.
You call me.
Do I need to subtract 0 from both sides? I can just write b is equal to. Easy. Yes.
It doesn't do negative. It doesn't have a negative button.
So if I set it up like this, it would say -6 equals 0 times 2 plus. So set it up just like, even though there's a 0, yeah, still plug it in, because you'll see kind of what we're supposed to do. It makes our life a little bit easier.
Set it up just like we normally do.
What's half of 6 again? What's half of 6 again? Okay, so what's half of -6?
Perfect. That's your next step. And then do what you do with the -3.
Let's try. Great equation. What was half of 6? So it's half of negative. There you go.
Because there's negative, so you have to add to get zero.
Let's try. Now that I have -3, I gotta do the opposite because I want to swing it over here. So what's the opposite of this? There you go. Do that on both sides, see what you get. So 0 times 2 is what? 0. So this whole thing goes away. -6. Yeah. -6 is what? Instead of. So b equals 0. So I added 0 to both sides. So you did plus 0 here, which is great. Why does that say plus 6?
It's all right.
Happens.
That's why we're practicing.
Yes. Because we got that plus b over here. So this whole thing goes away. B equals -6.
We actually have one less step there. Let's take a look. Oh, I see a lot of great work. In example B, what's my m here? What's my slope? 1/2, which is totally fine. What's my x? -6. And what's my y? +1. So when I set this up, y equals m times x plus b, I'm going to plug in 1 for y. I'm going to plug in 1/2 for m. I'm going to plug in -6 for x. And then I'm going to solve for that b. Like I said, what's half of 6? 3. So what's half of -6? -3. So if I have -3 plus b, and I want to get rid of that -3, what's the opposite of -3? Plus 3. And what is 1 plus 3, everybody?
4.
B equals 4. Right? 1 plus 3, boom, that gives me 4. Give me a thumbs up, you got B equals 4 for that second one. I saw a lot of us did, which is great. Yep, Keem Z, great job. Now number C is a little bit different. What's my M here? 0. Show me on your arms real quick. What does a line with a slope of 0 look like again? Think about the treadmills. If I set my incline at 0, what does it look like? Nice and flat, right? Perfectly flat line. Anyone remember what we call this slope? Starts with the letter U. It's a word. Undefined, right? So if I have a slope of 0, I'm looking at a flat line, right? What's my x here? 2. And what's my y? -6. So when I go plug these in, y equals mx plus b turns into -6 equals 0 times 2 plus b. Well, what's 0 times 2? Or I guess 0 times anything just gives me 0. Now, do I need to subtract 0 or add 0 to both sides? Would that change anything? No. So 0 I can just get rid of. And what I'm left with is b equals -6. Right? Think about this. Let's graph this for a second. If I have the point 2, -6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Oops, that's ugly. 2, -6 is down here. 2, -6. There's 2, -6. Right? That's where that point is. If I have a slope of 0, what type of line does it look like again? It's flat. So if I make a perfectly flat line through this point, where does that line intercept the y-axis? At -6. So my b value is going to be -6. You guys see that? So if it helps to kind of graph, we can. We don't have graphs on the worksheet or anything because it's kind of doing too much, but everybody learns differently. Especially with like a slope of 0 though, thinking about it like this makes a lot of sense, all right?